Welcome to the Cosmic Brain. Hey everyone, Vidya Dharan here, and welcome to the show of Mind Matters Lab YouTube channel where we explore the universe within. Today we're diving deep into the cosmos of your brain to understand why it seems hardwired for negativity. Before that, please subscribe to our YouTube channel Mind Matters Lab to continue watching videos like this. You see, your brain isn't broken, it's ancient. Thousands of years ago, survival depended on remembering threats. A 2001 study by Roy Baumeister found that negative experiences impact us 3 times more intensely than positive ones. Evolution wired our brains to prioritize danger. The amygdala, our fear center, tags negative events with vivid emotional markers, while the hippocampus stores them deeply. Positive moments, like a peaceful sunrise, fade faster because they didn't threaten survival. Neuroscientist Dr. John Cacioppo's research shows that the brain reacts to negative stimuli in just 0.1 seconds, twice as fast as positive ones. This negativity bias isn't a flaw, it's a fossil of our past. J.K. Rowling and the Scars of Rejection. Let's talk about J.K. Rowling, the mind behind the magical world of Harry Potter. Her journey to literary stardom is nothing short of inspirational, but it wasn't without its fair share of struggles and setbacks. Now, before she was selling millions of books and inspiring a generation of readers, she was just another aspiring writer with a dream. She was a single mum, recently divorced, struggling to make ends meet. Life was tough, and the odds were stacked against her. Imagine the dedication it took to craft the first Harry Potter manuscript, pouring her heart and soul into this magical world she created. She wrote in cafes, often with her baby daughter by her side, snatching moments whenever she could. She submitted it to 12 publishers, 12 different chances to share her magic with the world. Each submission was a glimmer of hope, a step closer to her dream. And 12 times she received a resounding no. Each rejection was a blow, a reminder of how difficult the path to success can be. Decades later, with Harry Potter a global phenomenon, you'd think those rejections would be a distant memory, right? But success doesn't erase the past. Rowling still remembers the sting of each one vividly. The pain of rejection is something that stays with you, no matter how much success you achieve. She even kept one rejection letter, physically pinning it to her wall as a reminder. It served as both a motivator and a testament to her resilience. It's a stark contrast to how she remembers finally getting that yes from Bloomsbury. The joy of acceptance was immense, but it didn't completely erase the scars of rejection. In interviews, she's described the rejections as feeling etched into her bones, a permanent fixture in her memory, a constant reminder of the struggle she endured. While the joy of that eventual victory felt fleeting, the journey and the lessons learned along the way were invaluable. This isn't just anecdotal, it's backed by science. Our brains are wired to remember negative experiences more vividly than positive ones. A 2014 Harvard study found that participants remembered critical feedback 40% longer than praise. This phenomenon is known as the negativity bias. Our brains, it seems, are wired to replay failures like a broken record, even when success eventually drowns out the noise. It's a reminder that the path to success is often paved with challenges and setbacks, but perseverance can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Turning pain into purpose. Now let's shift gears and delve into a story that exemplifies resilience and courage. Let's talk about Malala Yousafzai, a name synonymous with bravery and the fight for education. At an age when most of us were worried about homework and what our friends thought, Malala was fighting for the right to an education. She was advocating for something much larger than herself. She faced threats and danger head-on, raising her voice for girls who were being denied the basic right to learn. Her courage was unwavering, even in the face of severe adversity. Then, in 2012, tragedy struck. The world watched in horror. Malala was shot by the Taliban, targeted for her activism. It was a moment that could have ended her mission. It was a horrific act of violence, an attempt to silence her voice and extinguish her spirit. But Malala is extraordinary. She refused to be silenced. Instead of letting the trauma break her, she emerged stronger, more determined. Her resolve only grew. She channeled the pain, the fear, the anger, and turned it into a powerful force for good. Her activism took on a new, more powerful dimension. In her own words, "The terrorists thought they'd silence me, but they gave me a microphone." Her voice became louder and more influential. Think about that for a second. Reflect on the power of turning adversity into strength. Instead of succumbing to the darkness, she transformed her experience into a beacon of light, amplifying her message on a global stage. Her story reached millions. Malala's story begs the question, how can we learn to do the same? How can we harness our struggles? How can we look at the pain in our own lives and ask, how can this serve me? How can we transform our challenges into opportunities? How can I use this experience to make a positive impact? Malala's journey teaches us that even in the darkest times, we can find a way to shine. Oprah and the power of gratitude. Now, let's talk about Oprah Winfrey, media mogul, philanthropist, and a shining example of resilience and positivity. Oprah has spoken openly about facing incredible challenges throughout her life, from a difficult childhood to navigating the cutthroat world of media. So how does she do it? How does she maintain that infectious optimism and unwavering spirit? One word: gratitude. Oprah credits her daily gratitude journal as a cornerstone of her resilience. It's not about ignoring the negative, but about actively shifting her focus to the positive. And guess what? Neuroscience backs her up. Studies have shown that consistently writing down 3 things you're grateful for just 21 days can actually rewire your brain. It's like upgrading your brain's software, training it to scan for the good, the positive, the things that bring joy and hope. Elon Musk's 5-year rule. Let's talk about Elon Musk, the entrepreneur who seems determined to revolutionize everything from space travel to electric cars. Now, anyone who's followed Musk's career knows he's not afraid of ambitious goals. He's also not afraid of failure. When SpaceX, his rocket company, was in its early stages, they experienced multiple launch failures. Imagine the pressure, the setbacks, the financial blows. It would have been easy to throw in the towel, to say this is impossible. But Musk has a unique perspective on setbacks. He asks himself, will this matter in 5 years? It's a simple question, but incredibly powerful. It forces you to zoom out to see the bigger picture. Most of the time, the answer is no. That presentation you flubbed, that argument with a loved one, that career setback, in the grand scheme of things, will it really matter in 5 years? This question allows you to detach from the immediate emotional weight of the situation and view it with a more objective lens. Navy SEALs and the art of noticing. Let's talk about Navy SEALs, those elite warriors who endure some of the most grueling mental and physical training imaginable. Their training is not just about physical endurance, but also about mental toughness and resilience. They operate in high-stress environments where maintaining focus and emotional control can be the difference between life and death. Every mission they undertake requires them to be at their peak performance, both mentally and physically. So how do they do it? How do they manage to stay composed and effective under such extreme conditions? How do they stay calm and collected in the face of danger and uncertainty? The answer lies in their mental training techniques. They use a technique called notice, don't nurture. This technique is a cornerstone of their mental resilience training. It's about acknowledging negative thoughts without getting swept away by them. Instead of letting these thoughts take over, they simply notice them and let them pass. Think of it like this. You're walking down the street and you see a muddy puddle. You notice it, you acknowledge its existence, but you don't decide to jump in and wallow. You simply walk around it and continue on your way. The same principle applies to negative thoughts. Instead of saying, "I am a failure," you say, "I'm having the thought that I'm a failure." See the difference? This subtle shift can change how you interact with your thoughts. You're creating distance between yourself and the thought, observing it without letting it define you. This mental distance allows you to maintain control over your emotions. You're creating distance between yourself and the thought, observing it without letting it define you. This mental distance allows you to maintain control over your emotions. It's a subtle shift in perspective, but it can have a profound impact on your emotional well-being. By practicing this technique, you can improve your mental resilience and overall emotional health. Rewriting your cosmic code. Ultra, your ancestors' survival tool, is now your key to thriving in life. By consciously amplifying the good, you're not denying the bad. You're choosing where to point your spotlight. As Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl wrote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response." Hit subscribe and let's build that space together, step by step.